Back in May of 2021, we had a brand new website that got zero traffic from Google. We had no leads coming from our website, no course sales, no affiliate sales. We just rebranded and had no name online.
We also had over $100,000 of debt because we spent several years developing our first course, the Netflix of Personal Connection. Well, that flopped.
Not only did we not have a ton of resources to grow our business, but we were also burned out from working with digital marketing agencies. Now, we went from that to making over $2,000 a month with less than 2,000 subscribers on YouTube and less than 2,000 people on our email list. So how do we do it? We're revealing our system in this episode. Johnny, do you remember where the idea of the Netflix of Personal Connection came from?
Well, we were young and we were excited about saving the world from the personal connection crisis.
Absolutely. And to us, the personal connection crisis was what? How did you define it at that point?
Basically, we believed and still believe that social media has caused people to not really know how to socialize with one another. Mm-hmm. It's messed up a lot of relationships in general. Mm-hmm. People just don't know how to build strong bonds with one another. Mm-hmm. And that's what we really created the Netflix of Personal Connection around. Literally, it was supposed to be a library of courses to teach you how to personally connect with others, just like Netflix is a bunch of shows, movies, etc. And one thing that I used to always talk about around this time was that the day that the telephone was created was the day the world got smaller. Mm-hmm. And the day that people would be able to connect with loved ones over long distances without having to literally send a message through someone to go and travel to that town to deliver it. Or, there was telegrams and other forms of communication, but it was the first time you could actually have a human talk to a human over the phone. Well, fast forward to today, that same technology, the mobile phone, is actually keeping people apart. And it's because we're not fully present when we're interacting with people. Instead of being in the moment, we're thinking about what do I got going on TikTok, Instagram, etc. So that was literally the vision, creating a world where people aren't afraid to personally connect. But the problem was, it was way too general. Like, it was this big general thing, and it was like we didn't have a target market because the target market was everyone. Mm-hmm. There's like everyone is struggling with this. At the time, we were building out internal e-learning programs with video training content. We were doing a ton of it. And it wasn't until we had a client that was selling about 100 hours of course content, 100 hours of video course content as a digital product, where we were like, okay, this is the solution to creating a world where people aren't afraid to personally connect. Let's build a course library to do that. And let's hire out the same consultant that was working with our client at the time. And let's start with the technology that client is using too. But then we started to complicate everything, specifically with the technology. We got sucked into figuring out the perfect technology for months.
Not only that, we almost built our own technology.
Yeah. We started getting quotes from mobile and web development companies to build what we learned was called a learning management system. And the companies that were giving us quotes ranged from being US-based and, I think we talked to a company in India.
It was Asia and Europe as well.
Yeah. So the US quotes were really high. Mm-hmm. I think the highest one was $250,000.
And that was just for a minimum viable product, right? Which is the very basic version, the bare bones of what it is you're looking to build to prove out the concept.
Exactly. That did not include any of the updates, maintenance, etc. That was to just get something to test.
Yeah, and I remember the lowest quote that we had gotten was I think around the $20,000 mark. And we were also vetting companies in South America, Latin America, somewhere in those regions. And that was the lowest code. It's $20,000 to $250,000 just for a minimum viable product. We had gone through, I don't even know how many demos. You know, it was nuts.
And it was at that point where we were like, well, why would we spend money on building out a system when we haven't proven this was a good decision we made, right? Why would we spend money
Probably the only one in this stage.
Why would we spend money building a custom system when we haven't even proven that we could sell anything?
Yep.
So what we ended up doing is we told this company that we weren't ready. We're going to start with an off-the-shelf system that already exists, and we're going to start licensing the system. There's tons out there. At the time, we were very familiar with Teachable because our client that we got the idea of building out a course that you could actually sell from was using Teachable. We picked Teachable, and we're like, check, let's go.
Boom, consultant, check. Demoing a million technologies, check. Almost building one out, check. Let's actually just not build one out, check.
But then we started actually integrating Teachable into what we currently had, which we had a WordPress site.
Oh, man, that was literally like cracking the Da Vinci Code. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. In retrospect, it probably wasn't important, but we really thought it was.
Yeah, we thought it was like important to create this like one-stop shop. So when you click the login, it doesn't take you to a different page, and people don't know that we're using Teachable.
Yeah.
And we gotta, blah blah blah. It was just.
We were literally trying to hide the fact that we were using two different systems.
Oh man.
So our menu bar had to take people to the Teachable servers and Teachable hosted website. Then we had to have Teachable take us back. It was really complicated, but what it ended up doing monetarily is, first of all, we actually rebuilt our entire WordPress website. That cost $10,000.
Easily. That wasn't even any of the updates that we did or any additional things. That was just like the beginning
That was the
scope.
MVP.
Like how many of you have had a beginning scope that never grew, specifically for a website? So that was just like the beginning.
And then we ended up hiring a offshore, so someone from, I honestly forget, I think it was Pakistan. I think we hired someone from Pakistan as a developer, and he was responsible for integrating Teachable with our new WordPress site. That was costing $500 to $1,000 per month, ongoing. Then we hired a graphic designer to do all the graphics for our course, all this stuff. Then we hired someone because we're like, hey, we got to do pay-per-click advertising. We want to make sure we recoup our investment fast. So let's throw money at ads and try and get sales right away.
We want to get sales right away. Let's freaking go. Wait, how about this? We also heard, like a blog strategy is a great thing to do, if you know how to do it correctly. But we didn't know how to do it correctly. So I remember you were writing blogs, and then, we hired somebody again offshore that was writing a bunch of blogs, and all these blogs were just these random topics about relationships and personal connection.
Yeah. And then we finally decided, because that wasn't working, to get some buzz, because we were really desperate to get this going. We're like, we want to make money day one.
Well, and at this point, Johnny, as well, it's it's not just making money at day one. And I feel like a lot of people fall into this trap that, when you're spending all of this, not just monetary investment, but time investment. And we had a team, we had employees, they were working on this as well. This huge investment. And then when it's time to sell, we got to recoup this investment quick. So there's a little bit of desperation, right? Which is why PPC, a lot of people are like, oh man, we spent all this time, money, all these resources. We got to go and sell.
Yeah, what's the fastest way?
Exactly. Not what's the most sustainable way. It is what is the fastest way.
This is 2019. It basically took us most of 2019. It bled into 2020. And we only had one course done, a short course. It was like an hour long. We had some infrastructure set up, no strategy really. We were just trying to get eyeballs on a sales page to sell our course. And we really had no idea what to expect, but what we wanted was $100,000 of revenue right away. Because that's what we heard. We're like, yeah, that's what we can get. So that's why we're like, okay, well, we're okay going into debt. We're okay spending 150,000 on all of this, which is what we ended up doing. We spent $150,000.
On everything. And by the end of that, by the end of all these people and resources and vendors and graphic designers and websites and PPC and digital
two
marketing
SEO companies.
and blogs. Yes, 2 SEO companies. Johnny and my time, the consultant we hired, our employees at the time working around the clock with this. Just all of, I mean, I already used up all my fingers. I mean, all of this stuff, 150 grand, and we made a whopping, what was it, 14 bucks?
We got 2 sales.
Woo! What up? We did it. So we had made only $14 in sales. Our digital marketing efforts were not working, so we had to change things up.
I remember being asked by a couple different people, who are you building the courses for? Because our marketing strategy was just get people to buy.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's like everybody was. You know,
Yeah.
everybody needs personal connection.
The next question was, what problem are you solving? And yet again, I was like, well, people don't know how to connect and talk with each other.
They don't know how to build a relationship. They
Yeah.
don't know how to have a deep conversation with somebody. They just kind of keep it high level. Again, just a very general thing.
Yeah, everyone was our learner, and we were teaching what we wanted to teach, not what our learners actually wanted. And how would we know what our learners wanted? Because we didn't know who our learner was.
And then after COVID happened, then you and I were like, it should be college students. We just kind of made that up. And then we were collecting data on the people that were clicking on our ads, and it turned out that it was new mothers that just gave birth to their kids. And we're like,
We don't know anything about that.
wait a second, this course is definitely not talking about that. So we were just all over the place. No direction, no idea on who we were truly trying to serve. Because for us, we wanted to serve everybody.
Along with serving students all over the world, my biggest hope with all of this was to finally have some passive income where our labor hours of the work that we did not dictate what we made as a company. That's why the Netflix of Personal Connection as a course library. That's why online courses. And I was sad, man. I was so defeated because I saw people out there doing it. We had some very successful clients do it. And I just thought it was easier, but it wasn't. But I also didn't want to give up.
We were advised to start a daily show on Facebook Live. So we're like, okay, let's go ahead and start the Personal Connection show with Hector the Greek and Johnny the King of Burpees. Hey guys, how are you? My name is Hector Simunis, the co-founder of VP Legacies, and to my right is...
I'm Johnny Havey, the other co-founder.
So we decided to jump right into that, and we launched it right after COVID started. And it first started as we're giving you updates on what's going on with COVID, with the latest news, keep your spirits up, be happy. And then all of a sudden it just kind of changed and morphed into different areas, different topics, different stories of different things. We had some guests come on to talk about what they do with their business and how it related to personal connection. And, you know, we were just honestly winging it, trying to figure it out.
So we started thinking, courses weren't selling at first. Let's sell them through the show. Let's also give away some free licenses through the show. We had also at the time decided to invest in a couple courses about selling online courses. And my biggest takeaway was we packaged these things wrong. We got to add coaching to our course. We got to sell this for more money. And we got to get reviews. We got to get people in the course. So we started giving away free courses on the show, and then we actually started doing group coaching calls every Friday with the students we gave these free licenses to.
That didn't work, and you and I were like, well, we got a business that we got to save, and this isn't our main product, so we should probably focus on that. I mean, that's the reality.
So we stopped doing the show. We got refocused on our core business. We actually had to let go of our employees. We talked about that more in a previous podcast episode. And in my head, at first, I was like, oh man, we're in $150,000 of debt. What did we do?
Yeah.
But then I thought about it and I'm like, we learned the wrong way to do e-learning.
Some of your biggest investments and mistakes can actually transform into phenomenal, profitable opportunities.
Exactly. So we took that and actually started coaching clients on what not to do when creating an e-learning program, along with building content for more and more e-learning programs. And at the same time, I still wanted to figure out how to sell a course passively online. And we had an idea of what worked, but we weren't our own case study yet. And I remember searching on YouTube one day about the best learning management system for selling online courses, which ironically, I think we show up if you search that now.
And I think it was for a client too, if I remember correctly.
I was searching it for a new client, and Kajabi came up. And I had heard about Kajabi. We actually considered Kajabi for the Netflix of Personal Connection, but we also looked at it and we're like, oh, this is like twice as much as Teachable a month. So $150 to $200 a month, way too much money. But I found this guy named Graham Cochran. And I watched this video and I'm like, this guy makes a lot of sense. Because he was saying the exact opposite of what we had heard about launching online courses online, which is most people were saying, you build the course, people are going to buy it, you're going to make a ton of money right away.
On launch day, you're going to make a bunch of money. And we're like, been there and have not done that.
Did not do that. And we were hearing the same thing from clients at the time. Well, he was saying, hey, first of all, Kajabi is like the best all-in-one tool if you're looking to build and sell your own course.
It's going to take 2 to 3 years to start creating a passive income that's sustainable, not driven through ads.
We took Daniel Leslie's course from scratch. We took Graham Cochran's Automatic Income Academy. We demoed hundreds of learning management systems to help our clients. And through all of that, we became really knowledgeable of the least expensive way to build an online course to sell and how to build an online course or e-learning program to actually engage your employees. We got amazing feedback and reviews from our coaching clients. The programs we were building for clients were making money, were serving students all over the world. So it was time for us to take all this and do it again ourselves.
We're like, okay, we're going to embrace this and we're actually going to follow a system. We're going to follow a process that works. And that process was, you really have to understand who your learner is, who your target audience is. I mean, if we were to reverse and go back and see what didn't work before, we didn't have an audience. We didn't know who our learner was. We were just spending money on ads, just broadcasting it to everybody with no direction. So we have to hone in on who our biggest audience was. And that's when we discovered that our perfect learner profile, our learner, are individuals and companies that want to develop an online course successfully to cut their work weeks in half. However, they don't know how to do it. And between our experience with doing it the wrong way, and now having all the experience with working with clients and training them on how not to do it the wrong way, and then also seeing them get a lot of success, we knew what to do. And that was the beginning of this new journey of developing an online course that would actually work. You know, going through this whole entire process was it emotional. I mean, it was grueling. The biggest thing that we discovered, I would say, and this is something that we now preach, is the most important pillar is distribution. And the biggest mistake, again, we were living and walking examples of this. The biggest mistake is that people leave distribution for last. They spend all this time and money developing content, technology, And then when it's all ready, they're like, oh crap, there's something called distribution, and you got to do what Johnny and Hector did, which is spend tens of thousands of dollars on pay-per-click advertising, over $40,000 in our case, and only make $14 because you leave it for the end, and you spend all this time and money, and you got desperate.
Yeah, people basically leave distribution to launch day. They're like, we're going to get the technology in place, the content built, and on launch day,
we'll figure it out.
Exactly.
Instead of, we got to start talking about distribution day one. I mean, curriculum isn't even outlined.
Yeah.
Content isn't even, we haven't even pushed the record button. We're a month or months away from pushing the record button. We got to talk about it today, now.
Yeah, you could actually start distribution before you even have a course, as long as you know the audience that you're serving.
Which again goes back to what we talked about earlier, which is you have to know who your learners are and their biggest challenges. That is going to influence the way that you create content. That is going to influence the way that you choose technology ultimately. And that is going to influence your distribution strategy, because distribution is all about distributing your online course to where your learners are. And if you don't know who they are, then you don't know where they are. And that was our case when we made all those mistakes.
And what we found is the best distribution strategy has everything to do with intention. So, if your learner has a question about something that you are extremely knowledgeable about and you have the solution for, where are they going to go? What are they going to do? I don't know about you, but when I have a question, I go to Google or I go to YouTube and I type my question in. And then I watch a YouTube video or I read a blog, and that gives me the details that I need. And if it's done a really good job, I may even explore further with that resource.
We don't just stop at the YouTube channel. We're thinking, what's the next step for the learner that's clicking on our YouTube channel? Let's provide them with something that's going to solve even more of their problems, give away even more of our content away for free. All they have to do is click on this link that is right in front of them, give us their email address, and they have instant and lifetime access to this incredible high-value lead magnet.
Exactly. And it really is all about intention. And by the way, people have successfully sold courses through Google, through Facebook, ads, all this stuff that they have. We haven't, that's fine. But the intention on an ad is very different from the intention on someone on YouTube. And this is important because the conversion rate, which means when someone interacts with your ad, or in our case, with our YouTube video or our blog post, it skyrockets when the intention is in line with why they're there. When someone clicks on an ad, they're not necessarily looking to learn more in a video format. The great thing about offering a free masterclass or a free video workshop on top of a YouTube video is someone is already there learning from you in video form. And now you're just suggesting, hey, if you want to learn more about this, our A to Z process of how we develop online courses and e-learning programs in 90 days or less and save you $10,000 in the process, click on the link below this video. It is an obvious next step. And then the next step, people sign up for that free masterclass by giving you the email address. Now you own that relationship. This is what Graham Cochran talks about all the time. He's like, I rather send people to a lead magnet because I want to own the relationship. I don't care about the sale. I want to build the relationship. And that's what the sales funnel is it's a relationship building process. It brings you from, I'm going to serve you even more with this free hour-long training to, hey, if you want even more, we have a video course for you. So the intention follows them all the way through the funnel.
And you see that mindset shift is extremely important. A lot of people get caught up in the transaction. They get caught up in the sale. They don't get caught up in their learners' biggest challenges. And one of our favorite stories is one of our current clients that we absolutely love. He went to YouTube, did research, found us, went on a binge of watching 12 YouTube videos. He signed up for our free masterclass, and then he bought our whole entire digital product suite.
Yeah. He bought coaching.
He bought everything because We focused on the relationship. We focused on content driven with intent and making it easy for him to figure out what to do next. And because the content was solving problem after problem after problem, he was like, these guys know what they're talking about, and bought everything.
And now we have each other's phone numbers, and I had an hour-and-a-half conversation with him after hours last night.
But this is also the beautiful thing about doing this, is that after somebody goes to the YouTube video, after somebody clicks on the masterclass and watches the masterclass, they enter an email sales sequence. But even in the email sales sequence, it's all about providing value. It's all about solving their pain points. And guess what? After the sales sequence, if they don't purchase, then they enter our nurture sequence. And you guessed it, the nurture sequence isn't a monthly newsletter about, look what we're doing as a company. It is solving more problems that they're having, because like Graham Cochran talks about, when you're building a relationship, you don't know when a person is ready to invest. It may be now, but it could be 2 or 3 years down the line.
And what I like about all this is it's a long-term game.
And it's sustainable.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem with pay-per-click advertising and doing things transactional, right? What we're focused on is how do you build long-term relationships. If you're providing consistent, great, high-value content, you're going to have consistent, great traffic, which will lead to consistent, great revenue.
And the other part is affiliate marketing. We use affiliate marketing to serve our clients with one of their biggest pain points. We make it so that you don't have to pay us a dime for us to tell you what learning management system or learning experience system you should be using. We've done this by building strong relationships with our favorite e-learning technologies, and we would be promoting these technologies even if we didn't get a cut. There was a time when we didn't get a cut to promote these technologies, but now it's cool. We actually get a small commission.
And even cooler than that is that I've been on calls where people say, do you have an affiliate link, because we want to support you? They appreciate the information that we provide. I mean, you look at back in 2019, 2020, when we were doing the Facebook Live, just creating daily content that was not targeted or serving anybody, if you will, to now we're putting out content that does have a learner base that we are serving, and the results showcase it in and of itself. I mean, with less than 2,000 YouTube subscribers, with less than 2,000 email subscribers, we're generating over $2,000 of passive revenue. I mean, we love being experts. You know, we're super passionate about that. We love helping and serving people, and just spending more time with Johnny and brainstorming and listening and researching what our learners are asking for, and then spending time developing content. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you out there have seen our YouTube channel, and how we can be our kooky and fun selves it's just amazing. I just have so much fun, and you know, I can't wait just to keep doing this.
And that's why we want to share that system with everyone as well, so you can have as much fun as we have on YouTube. So we have developed a course called the YouTube 2K Blueprint. How to make $2,000 or more passively per month without monetizing with ads.
And with having less than 2,000 YouTube subscribers.
Sign up for our free masterclass to get notified when the course is live.